So we're going to pick up the action where we left it in the last episode as we return for some more F1 My Team content. Now today we're here at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. In the background you're seeing the results and the outcome of the Mexican Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the previous episode, I'll leave that linked up in the top right. And yeah, with that we're going to move into a brand new race weekend. No changes to Acclaim. Some pretty decent cash payouts in terms of sponsors, and I believe a few damages on Rosberg's side, but nothing too major. And yeah, we move into the next race, and as you guys know, in the last episode we actually turned the sliders on. So if you haven't seen what I mean by that, then like I said, go check out the previous episode. But basically things are going to change. We're going to get a lot less money, well, a lot less. I'd say we're going to get less money and less resource points moving forward now. So it's going to be harder to, keep the development rate going, and it could be quite interesting heading into season 3 with another regulation change on the horizon. Right now I'm currently stacking up R&D points, and we have 4,200 to our name as it stands right now. In the crossover between the Mexican and Brazilian Grand Prix, we went ahead and done a couple of activities. The weather forecast is dry this weekend, and also in terms of performance, it looks like we are going to see out the season as the 3rd best team, which we managed to achieve in the last race. And I think now pretty much everyone has turned their focus to upgrades for season 3 and protecting them. So yeah, things are looking pretty decent, and we're looking to hopefully end this year with some decent results. Rosberg picked up his pace a little bit in the last one, although the race wasn't great. His qualifying pace was really strong, so hopefully this weekend he can have a better one. Unfortunately, Nico has been very unlucky, and he's picked up a lot of the engine damage and, let's say, worn out parts from Aaron Barnes, and he's kind of feeling the effects from that, picking up multiple grid penalties every race. So yeah, after practice we had a pretty decent session. We scored most points, I believe 450, the majority, and we're now going to move to qualifying. So let's see, the car feels great. I'm really comfortable around here and I'm really enjoying it. I love Brazil, and the setup that I have is actually just a slightly modified Spain setup, which actually works really well here. So I'm feeling pretty confident and pretty comfortable. This is currently Q1. You join me at the end of my first run of the session, and heading across the line we set at 1 minute 4.4, and we go P6 ahead of Ocon and Raikkonen, behind Seb and Lando, and that lap was actually enough to move us into Q2 quite comfortably. Rosberg with 1 minute 4.0, so pretty strong start for Rosberg as well in qualifying here today, and both cars into the second part of qualifying. Now, speaking of Q2, I tried my luck on a set of medium tyres on the first run, just to see, test the waters and see what we were saying, and also because it gives us the option of possibly having 2 fresh sets of softs in Q3. Now, we finished the lap, we've done our 1 minute 5.0, I believe that says on my screen, which is quite a bit off the pace, 6/10 off our Q1 lap time. So I went out again on the soft tyres. In the first sector alone we found 2/10, but on the exit of turn 4, I just had a slight little correction which sent me off the white line and out of track limit. So I had to quickly turn the engine down, abandon the lap, and just go for a brief cool down. And we're now going to head for my final Q2 attempt. So let's go for a full lap of Interlagos, and let's see if we can get out of it. Currently P16, I reckon we need a 1 minute 4.0 to get out of this, so let's go for it. And there we go, across the line. It was a pretty decent lap, to be fair, no real mistakes, and it felt good at the time. And we go and finish P12, so not ideal. I do believe there was maybe a bit more pace in there, especially when the gap to P10 is less than a tenth. You always feel like you can probably find that because it's such a small difference. But yeah, overall, not quite enough. It didn't help that we had to abandon the first run, which wasn't ideal. But Rosberg into Q3, which is going to be the big positive of qualifying, I think. We've reached in P12, which isn't too bad. We are going to get the free tyre choice, and right now we are locked in a battle for P4 in the Constructors Championship with Aston Martin. So, you know, it's looking pretty decent actually. We're in the mix with them, and potentially, if our strategy goes well, we can try and jump them. And it could be a day where we may have a chance to give Aston Martin a run for their money for 4th place in the Constructors Championship. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for qualifying. We're now going to move to the race for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of Turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Rosberg, Sainz, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Martinez, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Russell, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. They've taken a grid penalty. Lundgaard, Mazepin, Latifi and Yuki Tsunoda. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Now for the race, we've been promoted to P11 and we've gained a place, which is really good news. Now the car pace does seem pretty decent. I feel like we've got a good race car as well, usually around here. It does seem like Rosberg is actually pretty quick, which is good to see. So I'm hoping he can finally get some big points here today, similar to USA. But in terms of our race, we're going to start on the alternate strategy. So we're going to go for the mediums. We're then going to revert to the soft tyre later on in the race. Hopefully a fresh set of softs might give us a chance to fight back. Fuel-wise, we're going to go 36 laps on the nose. So literally the same distance as the race. I feel like fuel could be quite easy to save around here, especially in the middle sector. The weather forecast is dry, not a cloud in the sky all the way through the race, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be good fun. The first order of business, as always, is to try and stay within DRS range after 3 laps, because the AI run full power for the first 2, so I've got to try and keep pace on a slower tyre. If we can do that, get a good start, and then stay in the DRS train on lap 3, it should be a decent race, and I feel like our strategy should work quite well. So yeah, let's jump into it, let's see what happens, and fingers crossed at the end of it we've got both cars in the points here at Interlagos. Okay, let's send it, let's see what happens. 5 lights are on, revs in the sweet spot, 5 lights, and we're underway for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Bit of a wheel spinny start, going uphill, didn't really help, but into turn 1, not too shabby. We've only lost the place to Gasly so far, who's had an absolute fly, getting past both Aston Martins as well. So we're P11 for now, P12 sorry for now, which isn't too bad, you know, considering the tyre that we're on. Giovinazzi closing in here, we're going to have to go slightly defensive. I'm going to keep my car in the middle of the track. That way I know Gio won't go for the move. He's coming back at us though. I'm just going to gradually move across. So there we go. We've survived the first 2 corners. Now this should be pretty manageable as we head into the middle sector for the first time. Everyone braking quite aggressively there and checking up quite a lot. Just got to be careful to not lose the front wing. But now it's all about trying to switch on the medium tyre. We're currently just negative on fuel a little bit, but we should be okay. Rosberg down to P8, so he's lost the place at the start. But yeah, so far, better than expected, honestly. I really thought I'd struggle on this tyre, but we've done a good job. Although to be fair, don't speak too soon, my eggs have been pretty poor out of there. Luckily, we've got plenty of battery to use, and I think we'll be okay. I do believe I'm down on straight line speed. I've gone quite aggressive on the higher aerodynamics to try and give me some corner performance at the cost of maybe some straight line speed, but still, so far, we're in the mix, and that's all that matters. Let's keep pushing. So we've got Verstappen behind us. I'm not going to fight this one. There's literally no point. He's going to be so much quicker. The Red Bull seems to have really turned the corner lately, so we're going to let Max crack on with it. I do want to talk about the objectives.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So basically, as you guys know, to kind of give you a bit of an update, we are locked in a battle for 4th place in the Constructors versus Aston Martin. Right now, only Seb is in the points in P10, Stroll just behind him P11. Rosberg right now P8, so if we can somehow leapfrog the Aston Martins today on strategy and get both cars ahead and in the points, I think we might go equal on points more or less, maybe even possibly overtake them in the Constructor standings with 2 races to go. So the battle for P4 is red hot, and if we can finish P4 this season, I'll be very, very happy about that. So let's keep going. We've done a good job. We've managed to stay within DRS whilst letting Verstappen through at the same time. Now we just got to try and make sure we time it right in terms of when the crossover is, when the soft tyre starts to fade away and the medium starts to come through. That's when we've got to try and push and make a few overtakes. Well, right now there's a pretty much 3-pack separation. So you've got the 2 Mercedes cars out front, then there's another 4-car pack in the battle for 3rd, and then there's this Ferrari leading this kind of rest of the midfield pack, if you will. So yeah, 3 kind of separations right now starting to form. At the minute we're at the back of this one, and we're pulling away every lap from the cars behind us. Of course, we're just stuck in this train, which is just dragging us along. But the pace is really, really good right now. These tyres feel good. Rosberg now going for a move on one of the Ferraris at the lead of the pack. So Nico trying to make a couple moves here, which is good to see. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I think starting from lap 10, we can start to go for this. So just going to wait a couple more laps before we start to really push these tyres. Okay, lap 10. Let's see if we can start to make some moves happen. The AI are going pretty slow when in combat. Rosberg still trying to get past that Ferrari and hasn't been successful yet. But let's try and put some pressure on and maybe force some cars into errors possibly. We'll see how it goes. So far everyone's skipping single file. But I do see a couple of opportunities, like for example right now as we go through this section, the hairpin could be a good option here. If we can stay close for the double right-hander. Had a little look there on the outside. This entire middle section, I just feel like I've got a lot more pace right now. Into the second hairpin, had another little look there. Just can't quite get past Verstappen. Obviously, he's in a Red Bull. It's going to be very difficult to get a move done on him. It's different if it was a car lacking a bit of downforce, but the Red Bull is pretty strong. But I feel like I'm forcing Max here to push a little bit. He might go for a move on Stroll maybe. Let's use a bit more battery this time. As Sebastian Vettel pits, that could be the trigger. This might just open things up a little bit. Let's see. If I can get a good run out of here. That's not bad. Still not close enough though. It's difficult, man. This DRS train is actually pretty strong right now. Rosberg going for it again on the Ferrari. Doesn't quite work out again. Okay, this time we're close. This could be it. If I can just stay close through the double right with the dirty air. Oh, not quite. Oh, this is frustrating. Ooh, very close this time. This could be it. I managed to get super close and stay close through 1 and 2. We're going to get the run on Max this time, down the inside. Rosberg trying it again on the Ferrari. That's Carlos Sainz. And we've got it done on Verstappen. That's the one we had to clear. Now we can hopefully get past Stroll. I'm expecting that he had to start pitting any minute now. Nice and clean exit. Pretty close to Stroll. Let's see. Everyone else is staying out so far in terms of the lead cars. And everyone else is staying out here. So let's go for it. Let's use the battery. Let's try and have a look at Lance into turn 1. On the brakes, around the outside. Inside for 2.
Some information on Russell. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Oh, that doesn't concern me. Russell's behind us, so we're in a different race. But nice move there on Lance Stroll. Up next, Pierre Gasly. We're picking them off now one by one. Super good exit. We're very close to Pierre here, but I do believe he's going to pit as the AI are now starting to come into the pit lane. Okay, no, Pierre stays out for one more, so we're going to pass him.
Nico has come into the pits. He's in the pit lane now.
Side by side with Gasly into turn 1. Exact same move as last lap, but this time we get it done a little bit better, a little bit easier. Sainz is next. Let's go hunt him down, but I'm expecting the remaining soft tyre runners to box this lap.
Be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Okay, fair enough. Doesn't really concern me though. I know the tyres will last for a long time. 35, 37 on the right front. That's okay. So we're going to take the race lead. Now, in terms of the cars we were battling with, I know Sebastian Vettel has definitely gone for a set of hard tyres. Otherwise, he's not going to make it to the end. Whereas everyone else who pit a few laps later, probably going to go for a set of mediums. In our race though, we're going to try and, you know, put our hopes into those soft tyres that will hopefully turn our race around. So let's push. Personal best first sector. Let's see what kind of pace we have. I do believe we can match Bottas, Hamilton and Ricciardo, who are on the hard tyre, on these old mediums. I feel like we can set a similar, if not the same, maybe even slightly better pace. So let's keep driving and doing our thing. Personal best.
We want to pit this lap, so push now.
One more good lap, if possible, to squeeze out the tank before we pit. And then we've got our fresh set of soft tyres waiting for us. Let's push on here and let's see if we can squeeze one more good lap out. Bottas hasn't caught us yet, so we're running at a very good pace. This is going to really help put us in the race here. And there we go, just like that. Job done for the first stint. Personal best in the middle sector. We were looking pretty decent for pace, but we're now going to pit. Let's try and nail this pit entry. Nice, perfect. I think we've done enough here. Looking at the minimap, there's an Aston Martin going through the final corner right now. I'm going to assume that is probably Lance Stroll. I think Seb's taking a bit of a backward step on those hard tyres. It's going to be close though.
Go now.
Good stop, 2.1, exactly what we need. Actually no, Sebastian Vettel's P8.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
So Seb on a set of soft tyres, he's 2-stopping. So that's Stroll who's lost a lot of ground. But look at this, we're out ahead, comfortably ahead by a couple of seconds. The overcut has worked out for us, and we've jumped everyone. And we're now net P7, with all the cars ahead of us on the hard compound tyre. So let's have a bit of fun. Let's see if we have any pace to try and make up a few more places in this race. And Sebastian Vettel pits, so Rosberg moves up to P8. Lovely stuff. Let's see if Rosberg has any pace to drop the cars behind him. But this is working out pretty nicely for us so far. And there we go. This should be a purple lap. I'm going to drain my ERS all the way up to the line. Let's see if it does the trick. 1 minute 5.3, there we go. Let's see if that ends up being the fastest lap at the end of the race. But we're catching Lando here, gap 2.3 seconds. Making good progress. Now we're locked in behind Lando. We're a lot quicker, especially through this middle sector where all the grip is. We've just got such a big advantage. Leclerc and Perez not far either, so I think a P4 is possible today. If we can clear Lando right now and then chase after Leclerc and Perez, that could put us right in the driving seat for a strong P4 finish. And Aston Martin right now are not in the mix this race, so this could be a big moment of flipping in the Driver Championship, or the Constructors Championship, shall I say, as we may overtake them. But here we go, on Lando to the outside, down to turn 1. We're going to cut across his nose early to make sure he doesn't try to re-lunge up the inside, and we're through. P6 is ours. Let's go after Leclerc and Perez now. Right, we're behind both of these guys now. Ricciardo not too far away either, just ahead of Perez. You can see him making his way down the hill, so that's a podium right there. But let's first of all, one car at a time. Leclerc's going to be the first one. We may be able to get both of these guys on consecutive straights. Now, because I'm on Leclerc's gearbox, I'm forcing him to use engine mode here, so he might close up to Perez quite rapidly. Here we go, to the outside. We're going to have to get this one done on the old brakes. Just like that. Bit of contact there as we make a bit of contact. I left room on the inside, maybe not enough, but we're through anyways. And now let's get Perez. Time for the 2-for-1 special. Look at the speed, look at the closing speed here. Honda versus Honda. To the outside again. Oh no, we've spun Perez round.
Okay, clear.
Was that my bad? I'll have to watch that back on a replay. I thought I left room. I thought I was okay, to be honest. But we're P4 anyways. Let's go after Ricciardo for P3. We've done it. We've now got ourselves onto the back of Ricciardo. Just starting to struggle a bit now. The tyres are just starting to lose their edge. and I'm not as fast as I once was, so we're kind of gaining a lot less per lap. But we are within range. I don't think it's going to happen into turn 1 because the AI do seem to drain their battery on this pit straight, but we'll try and get them on the run down to turn 4. Hopefully make it a clean move. Into turn 1. Nice late apex. Open up turn 2. Short shift to 5th midway through to clean the traction. And now we put all the power on. We try to close them down. Ricciardo running some pretty good straight line speed, it has to be said. Wasn't quite able to get the move done there, but we've had a great exit out of turn 4. We're going to have to turn the ERS off though on the inside. No, I'm not feeling that. Don't want to do that. Should be a good scrap, this one. Perez takes away. How fast is that? Fair enough. We'll try and get Ricciardo again here. We're approaching some lap traffic, so this may not be ideal. It may give Ricciardo DRS, so we need to pass him really ASAP.
Green flag.
Green flag. Not sure why. Hopefully Ricciardo doesn't get DRS on Latifi here. But we're much closer this time. We've got a full charge. Okay, Ricciardo doesn't have DRS. Let's get it done. There we go. Lovely. P3, and we'll get DRS from Latifi here. So that's worked out perfectly for us. Blue flag. Hopefully Nicholas gets out of the way. Yes, he does. And that is perfection. That's worked out exactly how I wanted it. We've cleared all the traffic. Ricciardo didn't get so lucky. They all got stuck in his way, so we've managed to get the 1 second gap already. We can relax now. Just got to make sure Ricciardo doesn't get back within a second for the rest of the race, and the podium is ours. What a turnaround, what a performance, and the race pace has been insane. Well, last lap of the race, Mercedes 1-2. I think that's going to be the Constructors Championship for them, but still, what a recovery. P3. The race pace, unbelievable. We're not going to get the fastest lap, it doesn't really matter either way. A great drive, both cars in the points, and both Aston Martins out of the top 10. A perfect weekend.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Job done. Very good day at the office, and we finish on the podium, P3 behind both Mercedes, who had a last lap ding-dong battle. Ricciardo P4, Norris P5. So it's not just a good day for the constructors, it's also a great day for the Drivers' Championship. Leclerc and Sainz P6 and P7, both Ferraris there in the mix. Verstappen P8 on a recovery from P13. Rosberg P9 in the points ahead of Sergio Perez, who scores the final point and the fastest lap. Missing out on the top 10, Gasly, Stroll, Vettel, Ocon, Russell, Giovinazzi, Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Lundgaard, Latifi, Schumacher, Mazepin, and that is your lot. So, no retirements, a clean race all round. Obviously a bit of controversy with my incidents with Leclerc and especially Perez. Obviously I'm going to watch those now, you guys would have already seen those. But we look at the standings nonetheless. We're P5, and I think with 2 races to go, Ricciardo 19 points. It's going to be a tricky one to turn around, I've got to be honest. I think the gap's a bit too much. But we've got a 14-point cushion over Lando, so P5 is looking very, very possible and realistic at this point in time. Now in the Constructors, we overtake Aston Martin. With 2 races to go, we're P4 and we're 8 points clear. So let's see if we can try and bring that home and hold on to that lead. But I'm very excited. If we can finish in the top 4 by the end of Season 2, that would be a massive turnaround. So I'm very, very excited about that. By the way, guys, that's going to be it from me here today. And a very, very enjoyable race. As always, we'll do admin work at the start of the next episode. We're not doing upgrades right now, so it's kind of pointless to jump into the laptop. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, as always, smash the like button. Let's try and break over 1,200 likes, which is the regular like target on these videos. Subscribe for more daily F1 content, and finally check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. A big shout out also goes to the channel members as well. But guys, thank you for watching, obrigado, and I'll see all of you in the next one.